Hello and welcome back. So today we'll be starting to take a look at the AI Agent Studio and creating AI agents with AI workflows, agentic workflows. So first up, we'll use a similar use case that can be found in Now Learning or the ServiceNow University, which is all about creating a knowledge expert that can help rewrite knowledge articles. So if I go to Agentic Workflows, so just under the AI Agent Studio, we can go directly into it through the Create and Manage menu there, which lands us on this page. So on the Agentic Workflows, I'll just click New. Give it a moment to load. Then we land on this page, which is to set up the new agentic workflow. For here, we just need to define our key requirements. So when to use this workflow, the steps required to complete the workflow, and the AI agents needed to complete the steps. All right, so let us call this knowledge article expert. Workflow is responsible for assisting end users. Well, no, actually, let's say not end users. This workflow is responsible for assisting knowledge content creators so really simple. So how will it do this? So it will retrieve a knowledge article from the article number. It will utilize propose a revised version of the content, allow a decision to be made to use the content, and finally, if the content is used, then the workflow will update the knowledge article. Okay, so we can look at adding AI agents. We can also create a new AI agent from the drop down here, and we've also got the ability to ask Now Assist to suggest AI agents that we might already have available. So if I click this, it's going to have a little bit of a look. It'll have a think, and then it will show me just a couple of AI agents that might be able to perform this role. So there is one here that is around KB content creation AI agent. So this one might be usable, but we're not going to use that for today's purposes. What we'll do is we'll just create a new AI agent, and similar to before, we just have to give it a name, a description, and then we can start working through that. So, say, yeah, knowledge article expert agent, because we would like this to be an agent. So this will review knowledge article content, propose a new compose new content based on the original, and then that should be it. So define the role and required steps. So similar to before, just providing some more information for the LLM to utilize so it knows what to do. So for this, we're going to tell it what it is. So you are a knowledge article expert, knowledge article content reviewer, let's call it that, whose job is to review knowledge article content and rewrite it in a similar, say in an exciting format that will engage its audience. So I've got no idea what that's going to look like, but that's okay. We'll see how it plays out. So let's say that we, step one is to fetch the knowledge article body from using an article number. Then it will rewrite the article. Will ask if this article is if the new article is good to be used, and then update the knowledge article with the new content. So I'll just leave these ones for now. And then you've got the ability to allow this AI agent to learn from past executions. I'll leave this as no for now. I'll save and continue. This should take us to the next section within the AI agent creation setup. When I click continue, it's going to show me potential other agents that could be duplicates of what I'm doing here. So KB content consolidation AI agent. So that one could be used, but based on the description, it's probably not going to be what I'm looking for. So I'll just ignore and continue. Suggested tools to add. So I could request to use some recommended tools. If I had more tools available in this demo instance, we might see some pop up, but because we don't, we're just going to do this. So there's a couple of options under the add tool. We can either use a catalog item, conversational topic, desktop action, file upload, and the list goes on. For this, I'm going to use a record operation, and we will say that I would like to, cool. Okay, so I'm going to use a new record operation, which is going to be look up knowledge content, tool description. Again, you can see that this is the description for LLM, so it knows what exactly it's doing. So this will retrieve the knowledge content from a knowledge article number. I'll add an input. This input is going to be the number. So article number. The table is going to be the KB. We're only wanting to look up records. We only need one record, and if I look at the conditions, it's just going to be that the number is the number that we pass in. So I can either enter that manually, or I can use this data picker here to look at the inputs and the number. So that's how that it represents there. Alright, the other thing I could do is I can look for, let's say that I actually want the article body, and I will order by the version, because I want to see the latest copy, because knowledge articles can have multiple copies of or multiple versions of the same knowledge article. So I'm going to look for the latest one. I don't need it to be supervised. I'm going to pass this information to the tool, and it's going to autonomously go and retrieve it. I don't need to pass additional information. I also don't need it to display the output, so I'll turn that off. Let's click add. Alright, so the next bit would be once it retrieves the information, it'll rewrite it, and then from there I want to update the knowledge article. So let me add another tool here, and it's going to be another record operation, and we are going to update knowledge article content. This tool is responsible for updating knowledge article content. Similar to before, we're going to look for the number, and we're going to we're going to tell it that it is the knowledge article number. We're going to look for the KB knowledge table. We're going to update the record this time. So we're looking for a number. Again, going to use select number here. Field values that we are updating. We are going to be updating the there are two here, so let's just do this one. And we need to go content, new knowledge article content. Okay, we'll put content into there. This time I will leave this as supervised, and I will also display the output. I will review the advanced settings and output transformation format. I'm going to use concise, just so that it keeps the response nice and short. And then I will leave it as that. Alright, so the next bit we're going to do is define who can access this AI agent. So when this is being triggered by a user, what is required by that user to be able to utilize this? So I'm going to keep it nice and simple and just say that ITIL users can utilize this knowledge article expert agent. A bit of a mouthful, and then define the data access. So when the AI agent runs, who will it run as? I'm going to leave this as dynamic user, so that should be the whichever user it is that triggers the agentic workflow. That's what we're going to use here. We're not going to use some like predefined AI user. Alright. I'm going to leave the triggers for now. And the channel and status, again, I will probably leave this for the time being. We'll just make sure this is active, and then we just click save and add. So this should add the AI agents to our agentic workflow. So this brings us back to the page we were at the very beginning. And we can see that our knowledge article expert agent is now here, which is fantastic. So we're just going to step through this quickly and finish the rest of it off. So similar to the AI agent, we just need to define who can view it, or who can utilize it. So again, I'm going to use the ITIL role, and I'll just leave it as the dynamic user. The triggers I'll leave alone. I will say that I would like to be able to use this within the Now Assist panel. And if I had any UI actions that needed to utilize this Agentic Workflow, I could add that UI action here as well. So I've just clicked Save and Test. We've got the ability to test this out now. So I don't have any knowledge article number handy, so I'm just going to look that up. So let's say knowledge, and I would like to look at this. I'll open it in a new tab. What are AI agents? So this is just from a knowledge article that has been created by ServiceNow. So I'll let that load just so that we can get an idea of what this looks like. There we go. So that's there. Can you please rewrite? So really simple. I'm just testing the agent or a workflow. So there's two options here. You can test access or you can test the AI agent or workflow. So I'm interested in testing the workflow side of things, so the agentic workflow, and it's automatically put in the knowledge article expert because when I was creating the knowledge article expert, once I got to the end, it was to continue and test or save and test. We've only got one version, but if we had multiple iterations of this particular workflow, I could test the different versions. And then I'm just going to provide it a task. So in this case, it's chat based. So let's click continue to test the chat response. And we can see this operate in real time. So it's going to start mapping out the actual process that takes place. So you can see that it's gone through and it's stepped into the knowledge article expert agent. It's looked at the first tool, which is look up the knowledge content. So it will have looked up that content. I think it's decided to try to organize the general knowledge. So that's not quite what we're after. We actually want it to update it. But let's see what's going on. So we can see that on the left hand side here, this is like a chat that we would be having with the AI agent. So let's see. It has rewritten the okay, no, this looks alright still, so it's just in a waiting stage. So do you approve of this new version to be used? Please reply yes to approve or no to suggest changes. So I'm pretty happy with that, so we'll just say yes. And from here, hopefully it should go to the next tool, which is the one that we've created to go and update. There we go, the newly written version of knowledge article has been approved. Would you like me to update the article with this engaging content? Yes. Excellent, so that's now been completed. I'd be curious to see what this now looks like. We can see it has actually been updated. That's fantastic. So, yep, that's all good. That's exactly what we're after. And yeah, that concludes the very quick run through of creating a AI agent and the agentic workflows. Cool. Thank you.